It was a huge adrenaline rush, part good, part bad, part glad that it was over, sad that I didn't win the money.
Join us next time on The Weakest Link. Goodbye.
And now, live from WKYC's Digital Broadcast Center, this is Channel 3 News.
It was not a smooth day at school in Maple Heights. Good evening, I'm Tim White.
I'm Ramona Robinson. A rough start this morning on the first day of the teacher strike. Take a look at the early morning scene outside Maple Heights High School. Private security guards helped keep order outside by monitoring the picket lines to make sure cars could get in and out. Inside the school, students claim things look pretty unsupervised and rowdy. Several moms told us they yanked their kids out of school because of all the disorder.
I actually witnessed that, so they are actually throwing TVs in there.
Throwing them at each other or what?
No, just tossing them down the stairs, just being unruly, but that's because there's no supervision in there. There's nothing.
When I got to the elementary school, there are 5 substitute teachers for all of those children. When I left at about 9:30, they were still all in the cafeteria screaming and yelling. When I asked the principal why there were only 5, he said to me that of some of them that they screened, some were convicted felons and some did not pass the drug screening. The ones that were there, the 5 that were there, supposedly have passed.
The chief negotiator for the district did expect some chaos the first day of the strike, but things should calm down in a few days, they're saying. Channel 3's education reporter Kim Wheeler's been following the story all day. She is live now in Maple Heights with the very latest. Kim?
Well, you know, we have a unique perspective tonight because we have it from the viewpoint of a substitute teacher here on day 1 at Maple Heights. Now, from one substitute's viewpoint, this day went fairly well, but there were some bumps. That person was actually a producer of ours. He was called unsolicited yesterday and asked if he would like to be a substitute teacher. He said he had no experience, and they said that would be okay as long as he could show proof of a bachelor's degree and pass the test. So this morning he showed up here at 4:30 in the morning, and he also had a video camera with him. This is our 11 o'clock producer, Dan Stadler, signing in. He was fingerprinted, drug tested, and had to show proof of a bachelor's degree.
Very thorough, very by the book, so to speak. A lot of people I saw were turned away right at the get-go because they didn't have the proper forms.
After passing all of the tests and paying $27 in cash, Dan was sent to Rockside Elementary School to teach 6th grade with no previous teaching experience.
The kids, I can say, were a little bit wilder than I expected, but I think it was sheer volume. You get so many kids in a small classroom. I had 44 at one point in one room, and you know, you can basically have them sit down and read, and it was very difficult without any lesson plans.
We asked the superintendent if parents should be concerned about the quality of teaching subs like Dan, who have no previous experience.
It is no different than the substitutes that we normally employ.
I would say half the time the teachers there had to spend the time disciplining the kids. Line up, straighten up, sit down, Johnny, as opposed to teaching them. And they were stressed. I mean, we all rode the vans back and they went, whew, glad the day was over. But I think they all had a new respect for teachers.
Now, Dan was one of 7 substitutes at Rockside Elementary. Normally, they would probably have at least 20 teachers there. So that meant very large class sizes, as you heard him talk about. And many parents did take their kids out of school today because of those large class sizes. While he didn't see any major problems at his school, at the high school today, we did hear that there were some problems, some TVs that went downstairs today, some things that seemed out of control. Tomorrow, they say they're going to have more substitute teachers in place. And by the way, they make $165 a day. Tim and Ramona?
The two sides weren't talking today, right, Kim? No exchange back and forth?
No, right now there is no meeting set for the two sides to talk to each other. And we talked to both sides today, and they still seem very far apart.
And Kim, what kind of education are the kids really getting? I got emails today when I got back to work from students who said they were just roaming the halls. They weren't in classes. There was no one to tell them to go to class. Are you hearing those same type of stories?
We are hearing that. Now, Dan said that he did give them a spelling test. He had them go over math. He did have some ideas that they gave him early in the day on what the kids should learn. So it kind of depended on the school and the classroom. But we did hear from a lot of the kids that they didn't feel like they were learning today.
All right, Kim. Thank you.
All right, Kim. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Well, report cards already are out in East Cleveland, and it's just the first week of school. Some parents feel the district should get an F. Channel 3's Juwan Strader reports 7th graders from Kirk Junior High could not go to class because of permit problems.
First, school is delayed at Caledonia Elementary in East Cleveland. The district blames asbestos cleanup. Then, at the same school bus transportation is eliminated for most of the students. But the first full week of school headaches don't stop there.
We came yesterday, no school. Came Friday, no school.
Students at Kirk Junior High School are greeted at the front door with a sign.
The school should have been ready for us weeks ago.
Linda Fear's son was one of the students turned away.
If we don't get up and send them to school, then somebody else is in our life wondering why they're not in school. But if it's no school, so how we gonna send them to school?
The district blames the delay on a building occupancy permit it did not have for students using these makeshift classrooms called modulars. But parents are upset they were never informed until they arrived at the school.
And nobody told us nothing. I figured they should have called a meeting.
And while the district may be lagging in some areas, they're moving forward with school construction projects. But instead of building futures for many of the kids here in East Cleveland, many parents say the district is building more headaches instead. In East Cleveland, Juwan Strader, Channel 3 News.
The East Cleveland School District says the permit problem has been taken care of and that Kirk students who attend school at the Superior location can return tomorrow.
There was news today that had nothing to do with schools. In this case, police arresting a man suspected of a hit and run in Euclid today. A car hit a woman near East 186th and Lakeshore this afternoon. The driver took off. Someone followed the driver to an apartment complex where police arrested him. The victim was life-flighted to Metro. No word tonight on the condition of that victim. And late this afternoon, a scare on a school bus for special needs children. Someone threw a rock at the bus as it drove along Superior near Ansel Road. The rock put a big hole in the side window. There were 3 kids on the bus at the time. Fortunately, none of the students hurt.
Well, a boy who stole a truck and drove 20 miles to see his dad is now in a specialized home. 8-year-old Anthony McNano is in therapeutic foster care tonight. It's a home designed to give extra attention to children. The boy has run away several times from foster care. Most recently, he stole a pickup in Twinsburg and drove 80 miles an hour down the highway to see his dad. Firefighters were busy in Leroy Township today. A small grass fire started near Ford and Trask Roads. We're waiting to hear back from firefighters to see if they know how it started. No reports of any injuries. The Amber Alert program used to notify the public when a child is abducted could be going national. Legislation was introduced today in the Senate. If it passes, a national coordinator will be appointed and additional highway signs will go up. One mother who credits Amber Alert for saving her daughter spoke at the hearing today.
And just to walk in and see the bed and nothing is the same, it rocked my world. It did. And honestly, if it wasn't for the Amber Alert, it would have shattered my world because I would have never got her back.
Many more parents credit Amber Alert with helping to rescue their children this summer. 15 states already use Amber Alert. Ohio could be next.
We're hearing for the first time tonight from an Ohio family of twins just recently separated. Doctors say the little girls are in critical but stable condition. One of them may be able to go home in a month. The other twin will need additional surgery to repair a hole in her heart. The twins' mother says that she was excited when she found out that she was having twins, but devastated when she learned they were conjoined.
It happened from day to day. I lived my life day to day for like 4 months. So I didn't know what to expect or what to think.
Doctors say that they were fairly confident the girls could be separated because they were attached at the chest and abdomen.
No dice. That's what Governor Bob Taft is saying to Tim Hagan's idea to legalize video gambling at 7 horse tracks to help Ohio's budget crunch. Taft and his running mate, Columbus Councilwoman Jeanette Bradley, toured a Solon high-tech company. Taft pledged to try and grow more good-paying jobs. The governor claims it's too soon to say how deep cuts in future budgets will have to be. But Taft told our Tom Barris, gambling is not the answer.
I'm very concerned about it in terms of the social costs versus the potential economic benefits. It's also a very risky way to try to balance your budget because twice Ohio voters have defeated casino gambling at the polls, so it's not money you can really count on.
Well, the race is getting closer. Now, coming up tonight at 7 o'clock, we'll have more on Taft's message, plus his view of the Taft quack duck that Hagan is using for laughs.
Well, there's a small-town mayor who's going to be taking a short break from his civic duties because of an unwise incident related to alcohol. He was arrested. Newark Mayor Frank Stair pleaded guilty to a drunk driving charge. We told you about this story yesterday. Mr. Stair had just left an event sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. A highway patrol officer pulled him over. Mayor Stair has been sentenced to 3 days in an alcohol treatment program and a year of probation.
From rags to riches, a sweepstakes score changes the life of one Ohio family.
I had to pull my brain back in to think about this because it put me in no man's land.
Moms might be a more powerful influence, friends, when it comes to sex talk. But first, they landed the nation's fleet of planes on 9/11. Now air traffic controllers gather in Cleveland to talk about how the day changed them and the world.
I would characterize them as uniquely wounded.
And we are finishing up a nearly perfect day weather-wise, and it looks like it's going to hold on for a while. We'll talk about that coming up in your triple Doppler forecast.
You're watching Channel 3 News with Ramona Robinson and Tim White.
Log on to WKYC.com to view the latest weather conditions on the Cleveland Doppler radar.
Tom and Penelope, Michael and Catherine, to me, Jim. Only we have the finished photo from an all-star photo shoot. Then Heather Mills' new book about her life with Paul and the details about a prenup. Plus a mystery wedding. Next TT.
Tonight at 7:30 on Channel 3. Channel 3 and PAX 23 bring you one of the most popular musicals of all time, Miss Saigon, October 1st through the 6th at E.J. Thomas Hall. For tickets, call 330-945-9400 or log on to ejthomashall.com.
I'd done some work in this area before, and I thought I knew where the lines were. Boy, was I ever wrong. I hit a utility line the other day, and now I'm faced with job delays, a lot of expense, OSHA, even lawyers. Not to mention a black mark on my reputation. I'm losing more than I thought I was saving. This doesn't have to happen to you. Take it from me. Call before you dig. It's fast, it's free, and it's the law.
Still ahead, a temper tantrum at a TV station.
Channel 3 viewers would never do this, but one angry guy did it, and it's all caught on tape.
The time to save is now. It's the Ford authorized clearance at your local Ford store. And you can get America's best-selling compact pickup, Ford Ranger, with zero financing or $3,000 cash back. Or lease for only $219 a month for 36 months with $19.76 due at signing. That's right, only $219 a month. Zero financing or $3,000 cash back on the rugged Ford Ranger during the Ford authorized clearance. Only at your local Ford store. Ford's leading the way.
No one covers the news of Akron Canton better than Eric Mansfield. As Bureau Chief of Channel 3 News and anchor of PAX 23 News, Eric brings a local perspective. Check out Akron Canton's only newscast, PAX 23 News, weeknights at 6:30.
Join me every Thursday and Friday at 6 for Parent Cast. Will present you with positive solutions to parenting problems.
Parent Cast is sponsored by the Children's Hospital Medical Center of Akron.
Cats, America's favorite family musical, a memory to last 9 lifetimes. Cats, the one, the only, the original. The 7-time Tony Award winner, the original magical musical, the best memory a family could have. Cats, live on stage. Take your family now. They'll remember it forever.
At the Allen Theater, September 10th through the 15th. Call now for tickets.
I'm Tom Brokaw. Tonight is the ultimate image problem. Millions of people across the globe despise America. What's the source of this hate? Has the U.S. been outflanked in a public opinion war? A look at the government's new propaganda weapon. That's tonight on NBC Nightly News.
days here in Cleveland, more than 1,000 people are going to be talking about how life has changed since 9/11.
And those people are our nation's air traffic controllers. Channel 3's Dick Russ has their story for us live from Hopkins. Dick?
Tim, the controllers are here in Cleveland for their annual convention. And just like us, they all watched helplessly last year as all that happened on September 11th unfolded before their eyes. The controllers say they were deeply wounded because it's their job to keep the skies safe.
You know, the reception tonight is a send-off.
As National Union President, John Carr of Amherst welcomes fellow air traffic controllers to Cleveland. He knows they are changed men.
I would characterize them as uniquely wounded because, along with the rest of the country, they had to witness those horrific events. But from our perspective, it was something that we are trained to prevent, and on that day, we're powerless to do anything about.
But since September 11th, controllers approach their job with more intensity than ever before. Anything that looks remotely out of the ordinary sounds an alarm inside. Russ Halloran works in Newark in view of the New York skyline.
And I happened to be working a radar position, and I was like, and looking at the radar scope, there was somebody doing 250 knots at about 1,000 feet. Okay, scared the heck out of me, needless to say. But we found out it was a military airplane, a P-3, going up the river, not talking to us.
The air traffic controllers say their new hypervigilance is good for all of us, that they are a line of defense in protecting the flying public and those on the ground, especially in a high air traffic area like Northeast Ohio.
They have a very real role to play in safeguarding the skies over Brown Stadium, downtown Cleveland.
Last year, the air traffic controllers were at their convention in New Orleans on September 11th. So imagine what it was like for them that day, the feelings of frustration and helplessness that they had. Tim and Ramona, this convention in Cleveland is a chance for all of them to get together here in town and talk. They say that helps, just talking with each other about what happened on September 11th,
Sure.
how it might have changed them, and where they all go from here.
They do have a lot to talk about, I'm sure.
And we don't appreciate the complexity and the difficulty of their jobs, Dick, until we see them here in a time like this. So we're glad they're in town.
It's an incredibly demanding job.
It certainly is. Dick Russ, thank you. There is new video out tonight, taken just moments after the plane hit the Pentagon. You can see the smoke rising up there. Hundreds of people running out of the burning building. The tourist shot this video. He was just about to go inside for a Pentagon tour. A man from Alliance was one of the nearly 200 people killed in the attack on the Pentagon on 9/11.
Some good news now for parents of teenagers. A new survey shows teens listen to their mothers more than their friends when it comes to delaying sex. A little pep talk with mom about abstinence is more of an influence on a teen's sexual behavior than a chat with teen friends. Teens, however, emphasize they want a discussion and not a lecture.
Well, it appears that an angry person took out his frustration on a TV station in Georgia. Now, you're inside the TV station. This viewer apparently took exception to something or another he saw. Unfortunately, the person who saw him was a deputy sheriff, and he arrested him on the spot. What the TV station in Georgia was putting on the air that caused this response, we're not exactly sure, but you're not going to see it on Channel 3.
Glad I don't sit next to the window.
Yeah.
You have the window seat.
You shouldn't say that. That's, Mark has the window seat.
Yeah,
Mark has the.
See, isolated showers means you could get a shower, just so you understand.
They weren't mad at you today, though, because today was a beautiful
Everybody was
day.
happy. Everybody's coming along throwing flowers to you.
That
today.
was nice.
Right.
That was nice. You love to see that once in a while. Absolutely gorgeous around here today. It turned out great, and I think we're going to do a couple more of these now as we get into the latter part of the week here, too. And you know, when September rolls around, that also means tropical storm and hurricane season, and Tropical Storm Edouard, which is now a tropical depression, continues a little bit of a drift toward Florida's northeast coast. System barely moving west now. Expected to weaken to depression status as it is right now, 40-mile-per-hour sustained winds. And some folks just putting down the sandbags, a little precaution. They know all about that down along the Gulf, the east coast of Florida, the whole works. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at a satellite picture right now, show you where Edouard is right. And really not moving a whole lot, not a whole lot of forward motion, just off the east coast here. It's going to come across Florida and then redevelop again in the Gulf, although a lot of the outlooks right now are just saying it's going to stay in depression status. So we'll see what happens as we get toward the weekend here. Right now back home, though, 79 degrees. Look at this dew point. Look how low. 51 with a 38% relative humidity. That's nice. Pressure's at 30.13, holding steady right now, and a west wind at about 10. Your high today, 80, low 57, just about on par on the low side there, a little warm. 95, your record high, has been as cold as 41. 6:58, your sunrise early tomorrow morning, just as Channel 3 News Today is finishing up. Were you sneezing today? Watery eyes, the whole works. Ragweed very heavy. And according to Dr. Garver, look at this. Highest ever recorded as far as in the last 25 years. So that would explain the sniffling, the sneezing today, as I was dealing with, along with you. Mold spores into the very heavy range also. 76 Lorraine right now. 81 Sandusky. 77 Akron Canton. And a 77 Worcester. Youngstown right now at 76 and a 78 in Ashtabula. Radar and satellite picture. That's clear. And that's the way we like it. High pressure is moving in. And look at this, off to the north and west. As that cold front moved through, those dew points dropped off to just about nothing. Comfortable back there. 83 Detroit, 80 in Chicago right now. Here's your high pressure just north of us, and here's the northerly fetch we have to the wind. As this high drops to the south, we're going to catch the back end of that, and that is going to warm us up now. As we get into the weekend, it looks like mid to upper 80s will not be out of the question now for both Saturday and Sunday. Very summer-like. Tonight, clear and cool, right near 55 degrees. Boaters forecast, small craft advisory, northwest wind 5 to 15. Kids going to the bus stop tomorrow morning. It'll be a chilly start. Cuddle up to your puppy. Right near 55 degrees. And then for the rest of the day, pleasant sun and clouds 79. There is your 5-day forecast, where again we start to climb as we get into the weekend, but tough to find any rain anywhere. Monday, maybe an isolated shower. That's it.
All right, Mark, thanks.
Thing of beauty, Mark, thank you.
Yeah.
A charity ride rolled through Cleveland today.
We told you about this earlier in the week. TV News anchor Scott Halls is riding across America to raise money for people in need. He stopped at the Rock Hall for a breather. He's scheduled to pedal into New York City next Wednesday on the anniversary of 9/11. Still ahead tonight, a family swimming in a pile of bills.
But Publishers Clearinghouse throws them a life preserver. The story coming up.
And coming up in sports, it's game week for the Browns taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in the opener this Sunday. Tim Couch, is he ready to play? Back throwing in Browns practice today. We'll hear from him next.
The Channel 3 Shell Oil Weather Hotline, 216-931-1212.
You know, this is really silly, but I'm married to your daughter for 2 months now, and I still don't know what to call you. Obviously, I can't call you father-in-law, so how about Dad? Pop? Victor? Mr. V? V-Man? Mr. Man who's watching a game and probably wants me to shut up.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
In-laws, NBC Tuesdays this fall.
Lucky you. Your local True Value has everything you need to take care of life's little surprises, and you'll get in and out fast. True Value. Help is just around the corner.
Hurry to True Value for great paint savings. Get a $5 per gallon mail-in rebate on all Easy Care or Weatherall paints. Contact your participating True Value store for details. True Value, great paint, great store.
Not that one. The one right above it. No, that one.
Is your family picky about produce? Then come to Giant Eagle for the freshest fruits and vegetables. Carefully chosen and brought in fresh every day. We'll go out on a limb and say, it's the best produce you can find.
Make every day taste better.
There's a lot of people out there with a lot of need. Walmart gives us the opportunity to help more people than we'd ever be able to help on our own. They're our friends and our neighbors. Every Walmart down the street and across the country is helping their communities through the Good Works program. With education, the environment, the children always have a special place in my heart. Their eyes tell their whole story, and their faces and their smiles. You just get emotional. I think it brings a tear to your eye to see the difference that you can make. The giving part is what makes you happy.
Riblets. Applebee's has riblets. All that you can eat now, riblets.
Get rolling to Applebee's for all-you-can-eat riblets. Plate after plate of tender riblets smothered in a tangy barbecue sauce.
Toss them up, put them down, give me more, another round. Riblets!
Hurry in, because even though the riblets never end, this offer does.
Riblets!
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Hi, everybody. The opener of the regular season for the Browns is Sunday against Kansas City. The quarterback situation is this. Tim Couch says he's ready to play in the opening game. His arm is okay, but head coach Butch Davis said he's going to get both quarterbacks ready to start in that game on Sunday. Couch did throw at practice today and made it through the entire practice. But remember, they have a nice situation because Kelly Holcomb is ready to go too.
I would be, yes. I would be really shocked if I couldn't go. I think, the way it feels now, it's gotten a lot better, and I have every intention of going out there and starting on Sunday.
Even if Tim is completely healthy all the time, you never know. I mean, you just got to be ready each and every day and each and every practice.
Once again, the situation is this. They'll see how that arm feels tomorrow after a full day of throwing, and Butch Davis could see this one going right up until game time until he makes his decision. Who are the Kansas City Chiefs? Well, let me throw this at you. Who won the rushing title last year? Priest Holmes, the running back from Kansas City, 1,555 yards. He came here and visited as a free agent, and the Browns opted not to sign him. But he's very much for real, and the Browns know they've always had trouble stopping the run, and that has to change Sunday.
That's not going to be the case Sunday. Between the linebackers and the front seven, we got to stop that run. He can't peel a drop. We gonna have to set the tone, and they gonna have to be one-dimensional real early.
Remember, we'll set it up for you and break it down during the Browns pregame huddle live from the stadium at 11:30. I'll be joined by Tony Grossi from the Plain Dealer and our own Mike Cairns. Join us again on Sunday. Well, Ohio State says we're vowing we are not overlooking Kent State on Saturday down at Ohio Stadium, as the Buckeyes are huge favorites to go to 2-0, and why not? 2 weeks ago, they just ran right over Texas Tech. Now remember, Kent State said they're not nervous, and so the Buckeyes had this in response.
We've got the talent. We've got more talent than they do. I think we got to execute better than they do. I think there was a quote that somebody put that they're not nervous at all. I think they should be, though.
Well, I'm nervous after hearing him say that. Coming up tomorrow night, it's high school football, an early Thursday night edition of Friday Night Fever, you might say. St. Ed's picked to be the top team around. They'll be taking on Shaker Heights tomorrow night, and they're led by Sean Carney, a great quarterback. We'll hear his story coming up at 7 o'clock here on Channel 3 with Mike Cairns. The Indians tonight taking on the Detroit Tigers. This is the end of the season series. Each team has won 9 times. Last night, the Indians not only didn't win, they didn't score. They got shut out by Andy Van Hecken in his Major League debut. And so tonight, let's take a look at the game line as we get set for the last one at Comerica Park. Jarrett Wright against Mike Moreau. And there's the situation coming into that game. The U.S. Open today, the women's quarterfinal matches. Amelie Mauresmo, near court, lost the first set to Jennifer Capriati, but then came back, won the second set and the third set. And just like what happened at Wimbledon, she defeats Capriati in a 3-setter as Capriati is eliminated from the tournament.
All right, has Tim Couch really aired that arm out in practice?
He did air it out today, yeah. Now the question is, first down. Now the question is, how does he feel?
Yeah.
That's the key.
All right, Jimmy, thanks very much. Well, it started out as a really bad day, but then it turned into a really good day for a family in Dayton.
Publishers Clearinghouse surprised Bruce Dittmer and his daughter with a check for $2 million. The money couldn't have come at a better time. The electric company just cut off power in their home because they hadn't paid the bill. Well, Mr. Dittmer's car died on the way home from work. Family talked about their rags to riches story on the Today Show this morning.
You thought it was like Candid Camera or something like that, right?
I did. I was looking for the Candid Camera. I'm like, where's it at? Ha ha, jokes over, go away.
And then
I'm going to be late for work.
Getting this did not hit me until about Saturday morning. I was sitting in the Waffle House eating breakfast, and a couple guys next to me was talking about dividends, stocks and bonds, and fractions. And when I said fractions, the money they give me on the checks was a fraction of what's coming. And I had to pull my brain back in to think about this because it put me in no man's land.
A nice plug for the Waffle House. The Dittmers are moving out and buying new cars. He quit his job, and the $174 electric bill won't be a problem now. Amber Dittmer received a marriage proposal at a Wendy's, but she turned the guy down. All right.
I thought Prize Patrol was trying to get to my house. They must have just had the number wrong on the street. I had a big sign out for
That's
him.
a great story, though. Thanks for watching. Be sure and keep it right here for NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
And we'll see you back here at 7 o'clock with more Channel 3 News.
Diamonds, the jewelry